Yo, one thing I noticed this past weekend,
Yep.
white people have taken over this movement. I went to 2 marches.
Can we go on to this? Can we go on to this?
Son.
Can we go on to it? Go. Talk to me. And they turned it into Coachella. I know.
I would say there was 5 black people for every 100 white people there.
Son.
I was shocked. And this was in Flatbush, Brooklyn.
Son, I was in Santa Barbara, okay?
Oh,
White as fuck, but they had a march going.
Yeah.
And so I took my girl's family and shit. I was
You
like,
really tried to impress. Shout out to Schulte right
I don't know if that impresses them.
I mean, it's like it shows you.
I'm with it?
Yeah.
Goodwill and all that.
I mean, her dad was fresh out of surgery. I'm like making him hobble down the fucking street to go to this Black Lives Matter march. And, but I just wanted to check it out because I was like, there's no black people in Santa Barbara, like very few, right?
Yeah.
And there was a few people there, and it was cool. Everybody was supporting everything like that. But I started to look around at the people at the march, and I was like, saw mad white bitches with dreads, hippied out Burning Man shit, right? A few like trannies and shit. And one just had a sign, this chick with titties and everything. I'm a man. I was like, that got nothing to do with what's going on here, right? And I go, oh shit, this has become the outcast. Like anybody who's an outcast that wants to fight against the system that they believe has oppressed them is now supporting this thing. And they're saying it in terms of Black Lives Matter. But part of me is kind of like, they just want to tear down the system that made them feel like shit or inferior or not part of something. And I wonder if it's going to start to get co-opted because as I see more of these things, they're looking fun. And I'm not saying you shouldn't have fun at a protest, but you shouldn't.
Black people should have never Cupid shuffled at that protest. That was the tipping point. That's when white people were like, we should do this.
Yo, son, be honest, right? If you're at a protest and you're the powers that be, and you see them screaming and angry and defacing public property and doing that kind of shit, you're like, yo, we got to do something. If you see motherfuckers dancing and singing and YG dropping new music,
That's a block party.
it's a block party. So you're like, oh, they're good. They just want to kick it. All right, they're going to be good. Everything's fine. I really don't know if it helps the severity and seriousness of the movement if everybody's so joyous.
Can I be honest though?
Go.
That's why if you're just doing a peaceful protest without like any kind of economic sanction of any kind, informal to formal, nobody I don't think is going to listen. You're just hanging out,
100%.
screaming. Who gives a fuck?
Women's March.
Yeah.
What that changed?
They're more annoying.
I can't name like a single piece of legislative difference. Like, what would it change?
I would say just the
It gave
culture,
some of these women
the
the
climate.
careers they wanted.
Yeah, like
Say again?
It gave some of these women the careers they wanted.
What? Oh, yeah. I guess I hear what you're saying.
But I would just say like behavior has changed a little bit.
Yeah, I don't know if that was from the march, but I understand.
Yeah.
But it is interesting that you saw that. And I wonder if that affects it. Like,
I think the Me Too movement, a lot of people were like, oh shit, yeah, maybe we could be a little better. But the march, I don't think helped.
I don't want to talk about the Me Too shit.
That's fair. I'm just saying the march I don't think did any, like, I don't think the march where people were like, oh, yo, these bitches are walking for this. They're serious. Oh, that sign really changed my perspective.
Yeah. Let's talk about this Black Lives Matter thing.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're in there.
Yeah.
And then you feel like what happened? Like, was it still Black Lives Matter? Was it like, yo, this is a party, people just need something to do during the day?
The message is still on point, but there is fun being had.
Yeah.
So it's like, the chants, the rhyming, it's like,
Yeah.
it is fun.
Yeah.
And sometimes somebody will pass with like a really big ass speaker and just be playing music and shit like that. But at the same time, there's still for every 2 songs of fun, then there's chants of fuck the police and all that type of stuff going on as well. So it's like the message is still on point. It's still Black Lives Matter, very much so. But
yeah, but now I feel like and this is my concern, right? I'm concerned that what happens is when you get power and you get influence, you start to ask for more and more shit, right? And I fear that the focus will go away from the thing that they want, and then the goals will start to get unrealistic, and then nothing will be achieved. I think the first thing that we saw was when Chauvin got his murder charge upgraded to murder 2.
Mm-hmm.
So murder 3 to murder 2. Anybody listening from another country doesn't understand it. I'm sure you guys have similar rules where there's different degrees of murder. Al, murder 3 is what?
That's almost like
Unintentional.
Yeah, unintentional. It's very close to manslaughter, but just a little bit like
It's like
not a mistake.
Yeah, like manslaughter, you truly didn't mean to kill the person.
Yeah.
This is you're doing an action to them that they ended up dying
Yeah,
from.
it's like this action could
Yes.
kill the person, and you continue doing it.
Now, murder 2, you get closer to the idea like I think murder 2 is you want to kill them, and then murder 1 is premeditated murder.
So 2 is intent with no premeditation, and 1 is premeditation.
So the concern I have is they up the charge, and then the masses were like, yes, they up the charge.
Yeah.
But I'm like, yo, hold up. If you go in there trying to get murder 2,
You can't settle for murder 3.
you're not going to settle for murder 3. So you might not get anything.
So here's a strategy, because I was looking that up. I was worried about that as well.
Okay.
They added to it. And so it's better to go in with a bunch of charges.
Better. Okay.
Because then you're more likely for them to be like, all right, we're not going to charge them with the hardest shit, but we'll give them one of the little ones.
Okay.
And so if the biggest one was the murder 3.
Yep.
He might have walked on that one, but now that murder 2 is the biggest one, now it's like most likely
It's like a
they
divorce
will.
settlement.
Boom.
The bitch goes, I want half. And you
Yes.
go 10%. She go, all right.
And that's my same theory on these marches, because I know you
What?
disagree.
What the fuck kind of divorce negotiation is that? How do you think divorce works?
That's not how it goes?
Oh, yeah, 10%. Okay.
I feel like that's generous.
Nah,
10?
it don't work like that. So.
10%.
I'm not saying what's right and wrong. I'm saying what happens. You think dudes out here getting divorced and giving up 10%?
How much they give?
About half, yo.
Yeah.
Man, come on, bro.
It's usually more than that.
These bitches
too.
working for the government? Yo, what's going on over here?
Hey, it's no coincidence that Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez wants rich dudes to give up 65%.
Single ass.
Yeah.
Why don't you get a man that could give you half? All these single bitches in Congress like, we want half of your tax money. Get a rich man.